Wow, we have seen some batting effort from Pakistan, a real onslaught towards the end. The Australian bowlers, well, they've been running helter-skelter. They really have been. Pakistan put into bat by Aaron Finch, and well, this is not what Australia would have expected. And this is something that Pakistan will be very happy with. 176 for the loss of 4 wickets. It was Rizwan after a patchy start, 67 of 52. Fakhar Zaman, absolutely brilliant today. Some clean hitting. 55 not out of 32 balls. And the captain, Babar Azam, 39 of 34. You're watching Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Ajay Jadeja and Zaheer Khan. Ajay, you'll remember this ad. I think you'll remember it. There was this ad that used to come a long time back. I don't even think they make them anymore. 1, 2, 3 Maharaja Mixi, right? Today, the Pakistan 1, 2, 3 have put Australian bowlers in a blender, haven't they?
They certainly have. And look at that scorecard on your screen. I mean, the people that Australians were worried about: Asif Ali gone for 0, Shoaib Malik gone for 1, and Mohammad Hafiz, he's only got to play 1 ball. And as you rightly said, it was a blender at the top that did all the scoring, and Rizwan and Babar started it off. And then Fakhar Zaman just, does what he does best. I mean, I'm grateful that it's not against India this time, because all the Indian fans who watched him, the last memory would remain that ICC World Cup final. So, the top 3 actually did the entire job, but I thought the Australians made it easy for them at the start.
Yeah, they didn't attack enough, but let's just stay on Fakhar for just a minute. Zach, he hit 4 sixes. Geez, there were some clean hits. I don't know if you can pick a favorite, but there was one Stark over long on? I think was it Stark over long on?
Well, I think the favorite was not a 6. The shot which he hit straight where the umpire had to duck.
Ah, yeah.
That was not bad Yorker at all. It wasn't a bad Yorker at all. It just the sheer ability to dig that Yorker, and not only dig it, but hit it right behind the bowler so straight. Is this something which talks about the bat speed? That he's bowling 145 clicks, and to be able to keep up with that, you need that hand speed, and that's something which Fakhar had today. So he was in the zone. He was set out there in the middle, and did put Pakistan in a very.
So I'm going to stop you just a second, Zach. Is your phone near your mic by any chance? Is your phone near your mic by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay, someone's really trying to call you. So if you could just move it away from the mic right now.
No.
Your voice is coming static, so that's why. Sorry to interrupt your thought, but we couldn't hear you. That's why I did. So sorry, if you could carry on now.
Well, I think the innings which you're talking about, Fakhar Zaman, he really set the platform, GK. There's no doubt about it. He brought in that power which was required for Pakistan at that stage after laying that platform, and the hand speed which he had he was able to keep up with the good Yorkers also, which really put pressure back on Stark, because that is your best ball which you're backing, and that was going for runs. Then it was always going to be difficult.
Yeah, they got 53 in the last 4 overs, out of which there's a 19th over in there by Pat Cummins, Ajay, which has gone for only 3 runs. This is just like a bipolar last 4 overs. Right? It's insane. 20, 15, 3, and then 15.
Yeah, when you start an over with a wicket, as you see on the screen, that makes a lot of difference. Actually, he could have had 2 in that over. Fakhar Zaman was dropped very next ball. Yeah. And so then when you get a new man in, this is the difference, couple of balls. And then Fakhar Zaman at that stage was going for everything. He was smart enough to change a little bit of pace. He saw what happened to Stark in the over before, and the over before that, what happened to Hazelwood. So Stark, who's an experienced bowler, one of the highest paid in the IPL at one time, brought all his experience there and, bowled a couple of shorter ones. But, really, that Katori, not the Katori in front, but banging them into the wicket. And Fakhar Zaman was at that stage going for anything that was in his arc. Missed a couple of balls, and that over was just a contrast with the rest of the game in the second half of the game. That was the only over where Australia probably looks and says, listen, we had a good over in this game.
Yeah. Well, Zach, they were going for, you were looking at 190 plus the way they were cruising at that point in time. So that Pat Cummins over will end up being very important.
Well, in these high scoring games, that's what is important, GK. You are every over matters. Everyone were actually thinking that, after the kind of platform which they had laid, they might be scoring 190. So so you can look at it this way as well, that you've stopped Pakistan from really taking the game away from you. You still have a good chance in this game. There's no doubt about it. It is
Yeah.
that are you going to be again thinking about that drop chance? Are you going to be thinking about how the game has gone when you are bowling? This is not the time to think. I think they will have to really rely on a good start, what Pakistan did. uh, if dew is a factor, then your chances get better. So that is something which you have to wait and see. There was a grip in that surface for sure. Hasn't looked the surface which so far we've seen in the tournament. We've seen when Zampa was bowling also, the ball was gripping. So if there is no dew, Pakistan will be happy with that, because their spinners will also come into play, their part timers will also come into play. But if due factor is there, then Australia will have to rely on a good start. If they lay the foundation, Warner is going to be the key. Finch is going to be the key, because the spin is going to be in play, and he's their
Yeah.
best player of spin after Smith. So so these two players, if the spin is in play, these two players are going to be very crucial for Australia. But good start nonetheless. That is something which is going to be very important for them.
Yeah, let's talk about Rizwan for just a second. Looked like he was blindfolded. He had an axe. He was swinging. He couldn't find a tree, and then finally, Ajay, he got into his groove right towards the end. But that beginning, oh geez, man, he gave. There were a few heart rates. He made a few heart rates pump.
Yeah, he did. He actually reminded, DK was with us yesterday. Start of the innings, the first 3, 4, 5 balls, he wanted to, I don't know what he was trying to do. He was trying to get to the other end, run, tap, run. He looked totally out of sorts. And, in
Yeah.
3, 4 overs, then once he got in at the end, when he started striking at that time, Fakhar Zaman was struggling actually. What we saw at the end was Fakhar Zaman, really turned it around. But before that all began,
Yeah.
Rizwan had a little patch as well. I mean, and that patch allowed Fakhar Zaman to, keep going.
Yeah.
But he's been the key. Today's been different. I mean, when you watch that Pakistan throughout the tournament, it was, Rizwan and Babar was the one who would hold things together. It was Babar who went. Today, the first 5, 6 overs, Babar was the one who was striking and Rizwan was struggling. So
Yeah.
it's been brilliant for Pakistan that each one has allowed the other one to settle in for that long. So there was no
Nice.
stage of that innings that went against Pakistan, except for that last one over
Yeah.
from 19th over.
Cummins. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, so Rizwan played his role brilliantly as well.
Yeah, well, Rizwan, of course, was not well yesterday. Had missed the practice session, had a flu, had some issue with his lung. They cleared him this morning, and they said that he's fit to play. Him and Shoaib Malik had missed the practice yesterday. They had just said that it's the flu, but the medical team cleared them negative on COVID. Everything was fine. They were not going to miss a big game. And I think that he sent the temperature soaring as well. Got 3 sixes and 4 sixes is what Rizwan got. Yeah, so he got 4 as well, along with Fakhar Zaman. So did manage to hit a few big ones. For the Australian bowlers, well, it was interesting. There's that one Cummins over we keep talking about because it's really slim pickings for them. Otherwise, it was not really a good day for the bowlers. There you go. If you look at the fifth bowler, we question that a lot, don't we? There's Glenn Maxwell with 3 and Mitchell Marsh with 1. Stoinis didn't bowl today. So therefore have gone for 31. Therefore have gone for 31. But meanwhile, look at Josh Hazelwood. He's not had a bad day like this in a very long time. Almost a half century of his 4. Stark picked up the 2 wickets, of course. But really not much there, Zach, for the Australian bowlers today. And again, to the point what Ajay was talking about, they didn't attack enough in the beginning. Stark gets the 1 over, and then the 3rd over changed, and Maxwell comes in.
Absolutely, I think that's something which on the hindsight they will think about for sure.
Yeah.
But I think on the whole, Zampa also bowled well. You had that control, and so far, if you look at the start of Pakistan, which I'm just watching on the screen, GK, they've already lost their one of the key players.
He's done it. Shine's done it again. Shine Shah Afridi. Service as per usual. Wicket in the first over. Stop it. Oh man, that is just, it's bizarre how he and Ish Sodhi have been doing this. Ish Sodhi, of course, yesterday did it on the 7th ball and not in the first over. But Zach, this is amazing. They've managed to get the captain on the 3rd ball of the game. Jeez, if you said advantage Pakistan before this, you're doubling down on that, aren't you, Zach?
Where you talk about ticking those boxes, isn't it? And that starting box is so critical and so important. They tick that with the bat in hand, batting first, asked to bat first. You've seen the history on this ground. You know how things have gone for teams chasing. They got a good record, but they've been fighting all the odds. So they did that with the bat in hand. Had that first partnership, lost their first wicket in the 10th over. So that really laid strong foundation. Coming into bowl, what was required? From Australia's point of view, it was required that they do the similar sort of a thing. When they have a good start, lay that foundation for the chase. That has not happened. Pakistan has ticked that box as well. So yeah, I think the bowlers also, like Shaheen Shah Afridi, also has been very good with the new ball. Not easy when you are facing 145 clicks and someone who is able to swing the ball. So that has been the story of the World Cup.
Oh, wait. The next ball after Finch has gotten out, Finch getting a golden duck, of course. The next ball, umpires given it not out, but a leg before review. They're discussing it a lot. They seem very excited by it. They're already high-fiving. They feel like this is definitely theirs. It's all happening. I tell you something. We've seen Afridi take 2 wickets early before. We won't say when. And we know what happens when he does that. What do you think? Do you think that's out?
Going down.
Yeah, going down.
Swung
as I was making that earlier point, I saw Mr. Jadeja going like that. First, checking the screen of what happened. Now, as we are speaking, Mr. Jadeja is going like that.
Yeah, he did. It was
He's in tune right now. We just got to see that.
Yeah, I think it's excitement because the ball's fuller, so it swings a lot more. Oh, are they going for a run-out review? I didn't know about that. Third umpire is looking at that as well.
Yeah, they're reviewing everything at this point in time. But I think your initial assessment of that is correct. Well, that means that they will survive with just the 1 wicket, I guess, so far.
Still a couple of balls to go, GK.
You never know. It's hit him outside. You're right. It has hit him outside.
Zach would tell you that when that seam's coming out nicely, yes, it's gone down. So when that starts coming out nicely, then the batsmen are in trouble. And now he's seen, what happened when he pitches it further. So he'll now be able to aim much better. First couple of balls with these guys, left-arm seamers, when they bring it back to you, no matter who the player is. I mean, when we finish this, you got to go and watch what happened to Aaron Finch. Aaron Finch was going to play at covers, by the way, and the ball came and hit him. So I think still a couple of balls, and one might just go straight through to the slip.
Yeah, you think they're gonna bowl Shaheen for 3 in the power play, Zach?
I hope.
I think if they start like this, he's already got wicket. Then the similar kind of a thing which we are talking about, right? Like if you have 1 wicket early, then you have to use your best option of picking another 1 wicket. So that is something is going to be seen now in this innings as well. We've seen this in tournament against India. They've used Shaheen Shah Afridi for first 3 overs in the power play. So maybe similar sort of a thing will be applied here as well.
Well, advantage Pakistan. Don't even need to ask them anymore. I think it's pretty clear that advantage Pakistan even more with 176. No? Oh, hang on. Yes?
No, of course. I mean, but don't count Aussies out because there's a different wicket, as Zach said rightly.
How much should we not count them out? 30%? 40%? What do you think? 60-40? 70-30?
If they're let me make it simple. If they're not more than 3 down by over 10, not first over. First over they could be 2 down, but if they're not more than 3 down at over number 10, I would say then Australia probably would end up from there taking this game away.
So you're saying that they have to preserve it. They have to make sure that they don't lose more than 3.
No, they can score as many as they want.
You're fine with that. So just the wickets in hand. Zach, what do you say?
These kind of games, it all boils down to partnership. You've seen that two players batting through can really take the game away from you. You have to lay that foundation. You have to absorb this pressure situation for sure right now. This is the pressure phase of the game. If Pakistan gets away with this, with picking 2 wickets now in next 4-5 overs, completely different kind of a story. But if Australia sees this phase through, then you might get to see, the other factor, the due factor also comes into play. You see one partnership and you get through this phase, then again, the game will look different from the Australia side. But at the moment, they have to really, really absorb pressure and get through this phase.
They've got the batters. They've got the batters for it. Captain may be back in the dugout, but they have a long batting lineup. As you can see, they're playing the extra batter today. They haven't played, but they've been doing that in this tournament. They played Ashton Agar just 1 game, but then decided to bring Mitchell Marsh back in. That means they're batting proper till number 7. Matthew Wade's a proper test level batsman. And then there's Pat Cummins, and he's no mug with the bat, as any Kolkata fan will tell you. He's done that for the Knight Riders. So there's proper batting down till number 8. Okay, well, the first prediction, I got that right. I'm so excited. I said 177. They got 176. So I got that right. Thank you.
You said 176 first, and then you changed it to 177.
There you go. See? So I basically said So why I said it in that order? I said 176. I meant Pakistan will score. 177 will be the target. That's what I meant to say. But, there was not enough time. But now in the power play, what's it going to be in the power play? What's Australia going to get? Now that they were 1 for 1 at the end of the first over, what are they going to get in the power play? Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody.
Oh. 45? Still possible.
45. 45, okay.
For 40.
40. 40 and 45. Okay. I'm going to go even lower then. I'm going to go 36.
Yeah.
36.
Good call. I think. Are we on Combox now, or are we still on Cricbuzz Live?
We're on Cricbuzz Live.
Is this a watch along show, GK? Are you getting confused right now?
I'll tell you what's happening. I'll tell you.
Watch along the best.
I haven't been invited to the match party, so I just thought I'll start my own rebel. I'll start my own rebel party over here. And I have some drinks as well. So, hey, come on, you want to come to my party? Yeah, everybody wants to come to my party, all right, but no one's invited. I'm going to take a nap now. We're going to see you in the combox at the end of the 10th over. See, the drinks have reached. You're drinking straight out of the cocktail shaker, I see. Yes, straight out.
You just sent it to me. Yeah, back to you.
Straight out of the shaker. Amazing. All right. A big thank you to Zaheer Khan and Ajay Jadeja. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Cricbuzz Live Party Combox. We'll be back soon. Take care. Bye.